By a show of hands, how many of you have traveled out of the state for a vacation? By the time I was born to 8th grade, I could not raise my hand. For my family, traveling was never really an option. I could not go to Texas or Florida. I just could never do that. But going to Washington, D.C. was the first time ever leaving the state in my life, ever. I decided to participate in the beginning of 8th grade because I felt like my life was really bland and boring, so I wanted like that kind of to start to flame. And I was right, it kind of did. While I was there, I saw Lincoln Memorial, the courtyards of where the 317 slaves slept on Mount Vernon, and the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. The feelings I felt there and the moments I had while being there are now stuck with me forever, and I am truly glad. The first place I'll be talking about is Lincoln Memorial. Seeing it, I almost had a heart attack because the last time I saw it was in a movie, but now it was right in front of me. The proportions of the whole memorial were like so huge, like it was almost amazing. The pillars were so big, I'm pretty sure 5 people could hide behind it at once. But my favorite part was when I went to the back of the memorial, away from everyone so touring. Everyone was really excited to be looking at the statue itself, but I went to the back to update my mom about where it was and what we were doing. While I was there, I just sat there and just trying to take everything in where it was and all that. I took everything in and I felt like I was in true peace and never really wanted to be disturbed. And realizing how different DC was from the small town of Elma and how glad and excited I was to be there. The second place I'll be talking about is the Slaves Courtyard on Mount Vernon. The main house is cool and all, but I didn't really like it that much because it was just really old. So I chose to talk about the outside areas where the 317 slaves slept. While walking around, it smelled fresh and like water. It was like a hot and cold breeze, like on and on. But being outside, it looked really green and clean. I don't like the green and clean of Alma, but like a much more healthy green. I liked the wood lodgings that were surrounded by flowers, fruits, and vegetables. My mom gardens, so being able to just experience and see each of their petals on the flowers have like such a vivid color was really amazing. I almost didn't even believe the flowers were real. They looked to be just out of a fairy tale. The third place I'll be talking about is the Thomas Jefferson Memorial. At that point in the day, it was still raining, and it was really dark out, and my shoes were soaking wet from all the rain. I was walking through puddles and wet sidewalks all day, so my feet were still hurting. There was a pinkish purple stone to the sky, and it was reflecting off the wet concrete. The memorial will mostly remind me of the Lincoln Memorial because just like the Lincoln, there was a dome, big pillars, and it was completely open. It reminded me of almost like a big round gazebo. What chose me to talk about this was the 45 minutes we were there. It got darker, but it seemed like the more I was there, the prettier it got. And I really liked the way the Thomas Jefferson was carved. It almost looked confident. It made me feel confident in a way too. Like it almost like rubbed off to me too. I felt better about myself and I felt like I was fulfilled. Being able to experience going to DC was the best decision I had ever made in my life. Just to see how beautiful Lincoln Memorial was. I got to see the nature and see all the stuff I wanted to see during the slaves' housings on Mount Vernon. Then I got to see the sunset and how confident the Thomas Jefferson Memorial was meant to be. Feeling how I felt in the moments I had on the trip seemed too good to be true. As Yogi Berra said, little things can make big differences. Even though the trip didn't seem so little, it definitely made a big impact of who I am